Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Crom. I'm here with another video. Of course, we're doing a reaction video of the presidential elections of American history, 2020 edition. So now I watched like all of these videos. Now I'm gonna go on this couple minute story time. Back in first grade, I used to know all of the presidents except for a couple. I think it was like the 1870s that really stopped me, 1850s. But then I really just didn't care about presidents until like seventh grade. That's when I started realizing that I really value conservatism and like capitalism. And then but then seventh grade, I was just trashing presidents like Woodrow Wilson, especially. I trashed pretty hard on. But then I just didn't really care. But then in ninth grade, during the Corona virus, when I was like didn't have school, I really started getting into politics, and that's when like I started to know all the presidents. And this is the dude that made me know all of the presidents and all the elections. Now, of course, Mr. B, I'd never met him before. I think he's a teacher in Kansas. I live in North Carolina, so probably never gonna meet him in my life. But as you can see, I watched like all of this. Now it's gonna claim I didn't watch it, but I know all the elections. I've watched all of these videos. I actually love to watch it as a playlist while just chilling and relaxing. Take my word for it. I'm closing my eyes right now. I have no idea what the election is. I'm gonna stop. Bang. 1912 election. Woodrow Wilson won against Roosevelt, Taft, and Eugene Debs, and Roosevelt ran as a third party. In fact, I had to write an essay on third party dominance with Roosevelt in the 1912 election. But I dedicated a whole video because of Mr. Beat saying my top 6 favorite elections. But yeah, so I'm gonna be a little bit salty. Warning alert, I ain't conservative, so I might be a little bit mad, but I don't want to watch this because Joe Biden won. But you know what though, I love the series, so let's just watch it. Alright.
The 59th presidential election in American history took place on November 3rd, 2020. Then again, by that day, a record number of Americans had already voted early, either in person or by mail. You see, for most of the year, the world was in the middle
Yeah,
of
million
the
ballots, that's so
COVID-19
stupid.
pandemic.
But
The virus hit the United States particularly hard. Around 20% of all COVID-19 related deaths in the world happened in the United States, despite the country making up just over 4%
damn,
of
that
the
surprised
world's
me.
population.
Damn,
By election
4%.
day, it had killed around
Oh,
235,000
UNC. Oh,
Americans,
that's
and
cool.
many blamed President Donald Trump. Compared to other world leaders, Trump was slow to respond to the pandemic and originally downplayed the severity of the virus.
I disagree with that. I don't think he downplayed it because the day after the first corona case was happened, he banned all travel from China. So I don't really think he downplayed it. He could have told us earlier, but I mean, I think he was kind of quick. I mean, the day after that one person got COVID, he's banned all travel from China. Um, yeah. So I don't think he was slow to respond. Damn. That includes the 2008 recession. Great recession.
Unemployment got as high as almost 15%.
Dang.
Despite wages slowly ticking up in the previous 3 years, nearly half of all Americans still lived paycheck to paycheck, meaning when the economy crashed in 2020, they had no savings to get them by. Trump also
Dang.
became just the third president in American history to be impeached for abuse of power
Yep.
and obstruction of Congress after he allegedly tried to get Ukrainian officials to dig up dirt on Joe Biden's son to hurt Biden's election campaign. More on that in a bit. Well,
Yep. Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton. Mitch McConnell. Yeah, I don't think I like him that much anymore. He didn't get that stimulus check. Lost us the Georgia elections. I don't know about Cole. I'm not gonna kill someone just because he says so. Bill DeCasio, Paul DeCasto, DeCosta or someone. Yeah.
That's enough. Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President, that's enough. Trump lied
Yeah,
more
bro.
than most politicians. So much where it was kind of hard to keep up with all the lies. And he nearly got the
I think this is a little biased, but it's all good though.
seemingly impulsive tweets, but he also accomplished a lot for conservatives, at least attempting to undo.
I disagree. I don't think there was not going to be any wars. Yeah, because I don't think any country in this world is brave enough to fight the U.S. because they know that when they fight the U.S., that they're going to get destroyed. Like, let's just face it. They can claim, like, they know that certain presidents are going to say, you know what, no, I'm sorry, I'm on my knees, please don't bomb us. But they know that Trump is not going to stand with that, so you can't take advantage of Trump.
Much of what Barack Obama accomplished, getting 3 Supreme Court justice nominees appointed, as well as lots of federal judges, lowering taxes, reducing regulations, and beefing up military spending. He
Nice.
even led some bipartisan criminal justice reform.
I like that.
All summer long, saw a resurgence
Yep.
of Black Lives
Yeah,
Matter
he was going to bring up
protests
Corona
as police
BLM.
brutality
Yeah, that's what I
continued to
predicted.
be a big issue as seen by the horrifying murder of George Floyd.
Yep.
The Democratic Party did not stand by Trump throughout his presidency.
Fuck no, bro. He's the most hated president by Democrats. Like, so many Democrats compare him to Hitler. Like, all of them are fucking idiots. Huh. Except the Hawaiian senator. She's not that bad. Holy gosh.
Just kidding. Although I will mention a lot of the
I think I know all. Yeah. Oh, representative? Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, I'm talking about. Fuck her. Ah, terrible. Worst politician in America. Yeah, that Hawaiian girl just dominated her. Tulsi Gabbard was probably the only Democrat I have respect for. Pete Buttigieg looks like Brad Stevens.
Buttigieg, the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, Buttigieg, or Mayor Pete, perhaps since many couldn't pronounce his last name, was the first openly gay presidential candidate to win a presidential primary or caucus. There were also 2 billionaires who basically fought their way into the presidential race. Tom Steyer, a New York City hedge fund manager. Oh yeah, we all love hedge fund managers, right? And Michael Bloomberg, who after he made his billions, was the mayor of New York City. Let's see, who else? Oh, Amy Klobuchar, a senator from Minnesota. Elizabeth Warren,
Pocahontas.
but from Massachusetts. Oh, and Bernie Sanders was back.
The commie.
After basically renewing a progressive movement within the Democratic Party when he ran for president in 2016.
That's true. He's the leader of progressivism.
Back with higher support than ever. And finally, there was Joe Biden, the former vice president who entered the race truly believing he was the only one who could stop Donald Trump, despite the fact that he was now 77 years old. That said, this presidential election had a lot of older folks. Sanders was 78, so was Bloomberg. Trump was 73, Warren was 70. Hey, it's all good. It was 2020. People were living longer. Wait, what? Oh, oops. Yeah, the life expectancy has been going down since the last election. Well, long story short, at first it looked like Biden wouldn't get the nomination, and that Bernie Sanders was in fact.
Man, I wish Bernie got the nomination. Trump would destroy him. No one wants a commie as president.
What they thought socialism was, and associated Sanders with what they thought socialism was.
We are living in many ways in a socialist society right now. Problem is, as Dr. Martin Luther King reminded us, we have socialism for the very rich, rugged individualism for the poor.
Socialism. What a wonderful country we have. The best known socialist in the country happens to be a millionaire with 3 houses. What I miss here. So, all of the candidates who talked about, quote, socialism united against Sanders and put their support to Biden, who, after winning the South Carolina primary, gained huge momentum and won most delegates after that. Biden became the oldest candidate ever nominated by a major political party, and it was his 3rd time running.
I thought it was Alton Parker in 1904. Worst politician in America, Kamala Harris. Worst politician in America.
Getting re-nominated by the Republicans, although folks like former U.S. Representative Joe Walsh and former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld ran against him. You may remember Weld from the 2016 election. Mike Pence was again Trump's running mate. After their strongest finish in a presidential election
Yep, Gary
in
Johnson.
2016, the Libertarian Party felt confident as it nominated its first female candidate, Jo Jorgensen, a college professor and activist from South Carolina, with Spike Cohen, an activist
Bro,
from Maryland.
I did not know any of the third parties. Only knew Biden and Trump.
3 times, but one of them didn't happen after Trump got COVID, maybe almost died. The first time they'd
No, he didn't almost die. There was no way he was going to die. He's the president of the United States of America. He got the best cure possible.
Kind of like two old men yelling at each other, mostly due to social media.
Also, I'm gonna say this. I'm pretty sorry if I talk over something. Actually, you know what? Video in the description. I'm just going to admit, like, I'm going to talk over some parts. So if you just want to watch it without like me talking over things, and I got you. You've watched the video in the description below. I just don't like making reaction channels because people's hard works just for me to not react. So I'm going to react as much as possible. In fact, I don't make money off of YouTube, but it doesn't matter still.
As it had been since the Civil War. However, throughout his presidency, Trump's approval rating never really got that high, and even some Republicans, like those who formed the political action committee, the Lincoln Project, thought
Idiots.
recklessly leading the country down a path toward fascism. However, Trump still had tens of millions of loyal followers
sir,
who
like
believed
me.
every word he said and trusted him with their lives. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns, Trump held as many rallies as he could, and many of his supporters showed up not wearing masks, a sign that many of them still downplayed the severity of the virus. On the other side,
That's
Biden
I could see that.
didn't get out much to campaign, and
That's
he
what I kind of thought.
had more low-key, kind of boring, quote, rallies in which supporters stayed in their cars and awkwardly honked their horns at him since he couldn't hear them clapping. And here are the results. Joe Biden won. Becoming the 36th president in American history. Biden received 306
And
electoral
Trump's
votes,
232.
1.3% of the popular vote. Trump received 232 electoral votes and 46.9% of the popular vote.
Who got 5%?
Divided as the country was, Biden won the largest percentage of the popular votes of any challenger to an incumbent since the election of 1932.
Damn, really?
Jo Jorgensen
That's pretty cool.
third with 1.2% of the popular vote. Kamala Harris.
Oh, fucking idiot. Oh, I don't like Kamala at all. No one likes Kamala. Good for her, but no, don't care. Speak one term. Yep.
The oldest president in American history as soon as he was sworn in. Yep, he was older than Ronald Reagan when Reagan left the presidency. Probably as
No, that's true.
partially
77.
the expansion of mail-in voting.
Mine's like
This
78.
election had the highest voter turnouts since the election of 1900,
Really?
even though most Americans
Oh, actually, that does make sense. That actually really does make sense. Wait, no, it does. Wait, what? Really? Oh, that's the 1900 election. Oh, because 1896 election was actually a very important election because you had William McKinley versus William Jennings Bryan. But 1900 election, that's pretty surprising because I thought like the 1896 election would have the highest turnout than the 1900 election, more turnout than the 1900 election because it was really about populists and you know the Republican Party was all about like, you know, workers, labor unions and stuff like that. So businesses really wanted like William McKinley to win. And like there was a story about how businesses would say a sign like, if William Jennings Bryan wins, then you don't have to come to work because like he's gonna make people lose jobs. But 1900 election, that's kind of surprising. Maybe it's because Theodore Roosevelt was the vice president. I don't know.
weren't that excited about Biden, who seemed to be just a return to the status quo. That didn't matter. Most of them seemed to be voting out of fear of 4 more years of Trump.
That's
Despite
true.
being that close of an election,
They didn't care
Trump
about
refused
Biden.
to say he lost, claiming there was widespread voter fraud. His diehard
people voted for Biden because they didn't like Trump, not that they liked his policies. Because most people would know that he's kind of radical.
Trump's own administration found no evidence of widespread voting fraud, and after
Wow.
dozens of courts filled with many Trump
Lee
appointees,
Monopoly.
I should add, dismissed
I have no idea how to say that.
the
Woody
election,
G.
many felt the last chance they had to prevent Biden from becoming president was preventing Congress from certifying the electoral vote count. Tragically, on January 6th, the day Congress was supposed to do that, a mob of hundreds of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol. Ultimately, 5 died, including 1 police officer, and dozens were injured. The rioters occupied, vandalized, and looted the Capitol for hours before the National Guard finally came in to kick them out and make arrests. Many criticized Trump for inciting the violence.
No, he did not.
To protect the Capitol. He even lost his social media accounts.
Yeah.
Not only was his presidency over, but so was his ability to tweet to his devoted followers. Oh, and the House of Representatives impeached him again. This
Yeah,
time
so
for,
fucking
quote,
stupid.
incitement of insurrection, making Trump the only American president to be impeached twice.
Okay, so they decided to use blinding lights.
I'll see you for the next presidential election, buddy.